So today we are going to learn how to prove the quadratic formula. Some persons call it the almighty formula, but today we are going to learn how we prove the quadratic formula. A quadratic equation is always in this format: ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b and c are numbers. So if we are going to express this, or we are going to prove the quadratic formula, the first thing we are going to do is take the constant to the right hand side. This is the constant c, so we take it to the right hand side. So it becomes ax squared plus bx equal to minus c. Immediately it crosses the equality sign, it changes from plus to minus. So the next thing we are going to do is reduce the coefficient of x squared to 1. So this is the coefficient of x squared. So the coefficient of x squared is a. How do we reduce it to 1? Let's write this first. Reduce the coefficients of s squared to 1. Now we are going to reduce the coefficient of s squared to 1 by dividing through by the coefficient of x squared. So if you divide through by a, you get x squared plus bx over a equal to minus c over a. We have successfully reduced the coefficient of x squared to 1. Now our next step, please, this is where most students get it wrong. It is add square half of coefficients of x to both sides. Now you have to ask yourself the question, what is the coefficient of x? The coefficient of x is these numbers, or this expression that are attached to x. So b over a is the coefficient of x. So what do we do to reduce it? They say add square half. First we need to get half of the coefficient of x. So b over a divided by 2 is going to give us b over a times 1 over 2, which will give us b over 2a as our answer. Now this value we get here, which is half, we are going to square it and add it to both sides. So let us evaluate that. S squared plus bx over a plus b over 2a squared equal to minus c over a plus b over 2a all squared. Now what do? We are going to continue. Let us combine the square. That's the next step. Please don't forget these steps. Take the constant to the right hand side, reduce the coefficient of x squared to 1, add square half of coefficient of x to both sides. Now the next one is combine the square on the left hand side. This is the left hand side. So we are just going to combine only the square. It is going to be represented in this form: x plus b over 2a all square is equal to minus c over a plus b over 2a all square. Now someone will be wondering that immediately we combine the square, this bx over a is no more there. Let me show you how or what happened there. Let's look at this. It says that x plus b over 2a, right? If we expand this particular expression, I want to show you how this bx over a was eliminated. If you expand this particular expression, let us expand it. So you have x times x gives you x squared. X times this gives you plus bx over 2a plus bx over 2a plus this time this is going to give you b over 2a squared. Right? So you add this, it gives you s squared plus 2bx over 2a plus b over 2a squared. So 2 is going to cancel out 2. S squared plus bx over a plus b over 2a all squared. And we have arrived at what we got here. So whenever you expand this, you are going to get this. So just remember this. Anytime you are combining the square, you only combine these two expressions and you leave out this, because if you expand this bracket, you are going to get the value that precedes it. Now let us what? Solve. Let us evaluate this on this side of the equality sign. So you have x plus b over 2a squared is equal to minus c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. So we have taken the square root. So what do? Take square root of both sides. Take square roots of both sides. If we take square root of both sides, this now gives you x plus b over 2a all squared equal to square root what? Minus c over a plus b square over 4a squared. Please take note of something. Anytime you are taking the square root of a number, you are actually getting the positive value and what? The negative value. But most times we only what? Take the positive value. But you know, for a quadratic equation is always like this. That's how a quadratic equation is. That's a typical quadratic equation. So if a quadratic equation is like that, that means you are supposed to have what? Two values of what? X. So we are going to account for what? That negative part. We are not just going to what? Let it go. So this now is going to give us what? Instead of writing, this will now be plus or minus. Plus or what? Minus. We could write the same thing here, plus or minus, but the square, cancel the square root, so that one is gone. You now have what? X plus b over 2a is equal to plus or minus square root. What is the LCM here? 4a squared. So 4a squared divided by a gives us what? 4a. 4a times this gives us minus 4ac plus what? 4a squared divided by 4a squared gives us 1. 1 times this gives us what? B squared. So what do? You can see that the equation is already coming out. So x is equal to minus b over 2a. We have crossed this to the other side of the equality sign. Plus or minus square root what? B squared minus 4ac all over what? 4a squared. Now x, finally, we can take the square root of the denominator. So this gives you minus b over 2a plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over what? 2a. If you take square root of 4,